Athletes from all over the world share a remarkable bond. No matter where they come from or which sports they dedicate themselves to, they are all driven by a powerful why. For most, it's not about fame or wealth. Only a rare few reach that level. Instead, they are fueled by a deep passion for their sport, a love for discipline, and an unending desire to push their own limits. From early mornings to grueling workouts and countless sacrifices, athletes are guided by an inner drive, a commitment to excellence that goes beyond personal gain. They don't just compete, they inspire, representing dedication, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit to be at their best. This is shared why connects them, creating a global community of individuals who break records, push boundaries, and show that greatness happens when passion meets purpose.
I sport, and because it's a very spontaneous call, we are going to get into a very authentic conversation as Olympian and her life,
Okay.
your journey.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I have been following you on LinkedIn. I saw your post, and then it was quite a long time ago, and I thought this is a very interesting story. I really would love so much to discover more about you and to share your stories.
I mean, I did go to the Youth Olympic Games, but I wouldn't consider that as Olympics, I guess.
It
What
is.
what what do you do?
I am a four-time Olympian. I
I see.
I
Great.
represented France at the Olympic Games, specialized in the 100 meters hurdles. And
Track and field.
yes, track and field. Unfortunately,
I-
I didn't earn an Olympic medal. That was
Well, being there is great already, right?
yes, but still, when you have such a level and you train, France is a big nation in sports, and
Yeah. Yeah.
we are quite good. So when we train for the Olympics, we really want to be part of the best of the world. So anyway,
Were you close?
I always reach the semifinals. There are three races, series, semifinals,
Yep.
and finals. And there was kind of a pattern in my brain that I could not overcome. And so every
Mm,
time I kept repeating the same pattern, training hard for 4 years, and then being at the
okay.
and then doing the same pattern, something would happen that I could not finish my race, or I was not racing right, and would make a lot of mistakes, and then I would arrive
Mm-hmm.
fifth or fifth. So
I see. Yeah. So when did you retire? I,
I
I mean, I'm assuming that you're retired, right?
Yes, I did. I did retired in almost 10 years ago after the Olympic Games of Rio,
Oh,
2016.
okay.
I turned investor. And the reason
Wow.
because I really think that as athletes we have so much knowledge that we have learned through the years of being athletes, or mental health, physical health, nutritional health. How
Yeah.
to work with brands to help them develop their products and
Yeah.
services. So it's just what I'm doing actually. I have transitioned from being a brand ambassador to helping brands develop and position their products in the market. I
Yeah,
think
that is
and
yeah.
instead of working 9 to 5, or offering my services, I really wanted to become an investor and take part of the whole journey of brand development.
Okay. Okay.
And I saw to interview you because you an Olympian. You wanted to become an Olympian, but you are an Olympian because your whole journey, your whole story is about that, and you've made it at a certain level, and finally the biggest goal of your life, like maybe your dream to become an Olympian,
Yeah.
to go to the Olympic Games, let's say to
Yeah.
go to the Olympic Games, didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's start from the beginning. Where does your passion for swimming came from? And where are you staying currently? Because it's the most important question to ask. Where are you staying?
Yeah, I am currently based in Singapore. Have you been to Singapore before?
No, I'd love to. I hear
Okay,
so many nice
okay.
stories.
Yeah, it is I guess it's a special thing to especially Europeans,
Mm.
but in Singapore we only have one season. So we are
Yes,
hot all year round.
yes.
There's no yeah, there's no winter, there's no spring, summer. It's just I mean, it's just all year of like hot summer all year round. And it has been super hot the past week. I think it's pretty hot in France now too, right?
Yes,
In Europe.
summer is back,
Yeah?
and I'm based in the
Yeah.
Netherlands, and
Oh
it's
yeah. You are in Netherlands,
one of
correct.
those
Yeah.
countries that stays fresh even in the summer. They stay.
Okay.
The rain
Okay.
is far.
Yeah. So that's good. So yeah, so I basically grew up in Singapore. I went to school in Singapore. Well, there was a period of time where I tried to actually go to the States for college
Yes,
because I wanted to experience the college experience, right? But because of NCAA's, the rules and regulations, and this was, I'd say, maybe more than 10, 15 years ago.
yes.
So, their rules, they were still pretty strict.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, and in Singapore, so I started competing. I guess I represented my nation at one of the biggest games in Southeast Asia.
Yes,
So it's called the Southeast Asian Games.
yes.
It happens every 2 years.
Mhm.
And my first one was when I was 14 years old. Yeah, so I took part in the relay, and then I got a silver medal there.
Mhm.
And I guess from then on, I was pretty motivated, right? Because I saw like my seniors and they were swimming fast and they were winning gold medals, and I
Yeah,
wanted to be like them.
yeah.
So I guess that kind of inspired me to kind of train harder and honestly, my teenage years is kind of like a blur. I'm currently 32 years old this year.
Oh, you're young.
Yeah, I'm young. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, um, yeah, so that was when I was 14 years old. And then the next Southeast Asian Games was 2 years later, and I was 16. And that was when I won my first gold medal, like individual gold medal.
What
And
happened
that
from the, sorry, because this is a very important question, because you started as a, like, someone who was very enthusiastic about swimming, but then you came back 2 years later and you win. And so I was very impressed by what you were saying, that when you were a talent, you are young talent and you just start, you enjoy the game, but then you did something different to come back to the South Asian games, to become a champion. What did you do? Do you remember?
well, honestly, I was like 14 years old then, right? And I think if I were to think back, I would say that definitely I was in a routine. I was in the sports school. So in Singapore, there's this place, it's kind of like a high school.
Hmm.
So it's called the Singapore Sports School. So you basically train and you study in there and everyone else does the same thing. We are all kind of like called student athletes. Um, and there's different sports. There's track and field, there's swimming, there's all the other sports there as well. And
Yeah.
I think like just being in that environment, probably just made me so focused on what I'm doing. And it allowed me to have time, to actually train,
Mhm.
and also to go to school and study. And also because like everything it's in the compound in the same facility, right? Um, and you don't have to spend on traveling time, this and that. We eat, we sleep, we basically just spend our whole life in there.
Mm.
And everyone around me they had the same goals as well.
Yes.
So
Okay.
my yeah, so like my then roommate, um, she is currently still my best friend actually. She went on, yeah, so she went on to become the She won a gold medal at the Asian Games. She was number 4 at the Olympic Games at her peak. Um, so yeah, I think it's just that because then I was still so young, I guess there weren't that much of a pressure that I put on myself.
Yes.
So it's kind of like a natural thing that just brought me along the momentum,
Mhm.
right? Like these days, the kids are so um I think they just put too much pressure on themselves where they don't enjoy the sport anymore,
Mm.
right? They care about the personal best, they care about the outcomes,
Yeah.
and they care about, oh, I gotta do well, like in this event, I gotta do well in school.
Mm.
And when you are 15 years old and when you're 16 years old, like,
Mm.
how can you I don't know, like how can you like take on so much of this stress and pressure when you're barely even 18? You're not even legal to do anything in life, right? But yet you have like the weight of the world on your shoulders, basically.
Yeah.
So I would say like that would probably be the difference, um, that that kind of just allowed me to keep competing till now, actually.
Yes.
Um,
And did you
right.
decide?
So
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, no, no. I was just gonna say that, yeah, so I was 16 when I won my first gold medal, because then if you ask me like, oh, did I like put my head down and like train really, really hard for it? Honestly, I can't remember because it's so long ago. But also at the same time, I can't remember because I was just having fun. Like there weren't any specific moments that stood out to me that like I want to quit, or like I just don't want to do it anymore. I mean,
Mm.
yes, for sure there are like very hard moments, in trainings where you're doing like lactate sets, when you're like crying in training, when you're like just throwing up after
Oh,
training,
that's
like
nice.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So like those moments, but the thing is I don't think of them as like negative memories, right? It's all like part of the journey. And yeah, so then I won my first gold medal in when I was 16 in the 50 meters freestyle.
Yes.
And because the SEA Games is every 2 years,
Yes.
I actually continued to win the event for the next 6 editions of it. So that's 12 years. So like for the next 12 years. So
Wow.
from from 2009 all the way till 2019. Yeah. So
So,
I continued on my streak in the event, right? And I mean, I'm sure you understand like how sprint events are like, right? 0.01. Actually, in your case, 0.001
yes.
is going to differentiate you
Oh,
between first and like basically last,
yeah.
right?
How
Yeah.
how do you experiment being a sprinter in the swimming? Because it goes so fast. Like, what kind of training do you do to become to be a sprinter in the
Yeah.
swimming? How do you call it even?
Yeah. Actually, when I was young, I would say when I first represented Singapore at 14, I was actually doing the 50 meters to the 800 meters. I swam, I did everything. So
Yes.
I wasn't a sprinter. Yeah, right? Like that's how we built the foundation of the
Yes.
sport.
So everything and then yeah.
Yeah. So like you do everything, you try everything. Um, I think it was only until I would say in 2015 or 2017,
Yes.
then I kind of scaled back on my events and I tried to be more specific in my trainings.
Mhm.
I shift from just doing everything to doing a middle distance
Yes.
training, and then slowly now I'm just like pure sprint. I'm just a pure sprinter right now.
So
I
what is
do
the
I
training that you do as a pure sprinter? What kind of training?
yeah. Yeah, so that's a very good question actually, because I actually just kind of I am experimenting this new training method
Okay.
um that just kind of is so different from the traditional trainings.
Mm.
So for example, in the past, we would do so much mileage. So we would swim 10 sessions a week, Um, so there's 10 swim sessions. So
Mm.
we go doubles on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays. We'll go doubles Monday, morning and afternoon.
Yeah.
And in Singapore, because the kids they go to school at uh they have to go to school at like 7:30 or like 8 o'clock. So
Mm.
we have to do our trainings before that. So we start our morning sessions at 5:30 a.m. So we swim all the way till 7:30. And then we go to school in the afternoons. And then by like 3:30 or 4:30, we are back in the pool for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
And also in the week we have to go to the gym 3 times. So there's 10 swim sessions and 3 weight sessions. Just imagine that for a 16-year-old.
That's
Yeah, right?
that's real
It's
life.
a lot. Yeah, exactly. There's no life. So, as I got older, so I guess 20, I think right up to 2019 actually, that was when, so in because after 2019 it was COVID, right?
Yes.
And the 2020, 2021, 2022,
Yes.
honestly, like those 3 years
Mm.
was just a blur. Um, like the routine went out of the window,
Mhm.
we couldn't race. And as a sprinter, like you really need to race, right? Like just
Yeah.
training alone is not
Yeah.
it's not gonna cut it.
Mm.
And for me as a person and how I am and how I train, I love racing. And when I race, I'm basically like a different person as compared to when I'm training.
That's so interesting. I
S-
would like to know because we don't realize what's going on in the mind, but just
Yeah,
just for people to realize as well, what is the kind of training that you were explaining? You were experimenting a new method, right? For
yeah,
training. So what kind of
yeah, yeah,
training is that?
yeah,
What is the method about?
yeah. Yeah. So because of the traditional training that I've done in the past, I realized that it's not sustainable for for a more mature athlete. Like I still have the passion to swim. I still want to swim, but I need to have a life outside of swimming. And I have a full-time job as well. So
Yes,
like how am I supposed to juggle all of these things,
yes,
but yet like pursue my passion,
yeah.
right?
What is
So
your full-time job?
what do I do? My full-time job?
Mhm.
Um, it's totally different from sports. So I work in Ernst and Young. It's a I guess it's an auditing firm,
Yes,
but I work in the consulting wing
yes,
of the company,
yes,
and we do I do people consulting, like human resource consulting,
yeah,
where we do projects like talent management. When a company wants to reorganize their um organizational model. They
yes,
want to do a job redesign project.
yes.
So
It's
it's
a big
very
company.
people, yeah, it's very people related. It's very, very stressful. It's very different from the sport, but it's very challenging as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I kind of wanted to try it. Um, yeah, so it's a tough life though. Yeah, it's a tough life. It's a tough
There's
life.
so many things we need to uncover here. But I'm sorry, I'm asking you all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
questions after each other.
Yeah, I know. It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you was explaining that you have started creating a new pattern, let's say, because you realize you need to
Yes.
more to train smarter than harder, right?
Yeah. 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 Actually, the train smarter part actually came later. It
Mm.
was actually in I would say the late 2022.
Hmm.
I realized that, I'm just stagnant in my times. Like I'm still hitting my times, but I'm just not faster. Like my times are decent,
Yes.
but they are just like a little bit above average, but it's not good. Like it gets me nowhere in the world. Like I'm still first in Singapore. I'm still first in Southeast Asia, right? But my times, like it's very hard. Like I'm still a little bit away from the A qualifying mark of the Olympics.
Yes.
Like and I realized that and it's because I've just been doing the same thing for 20 years.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so then I was just like, okay, like now, what do I want to do? Like, like, do I still want to continue this pattern, or like, do I want to do something about it? So
Mhm.
I basically, it all happened in a week. I basically called out one of my friends in Hong Kong. She swims as well. She is an Olympian, and she's like a 4 to 5 time Olympian. She's insane. But anyway, yeah, so I called her and she was like, "Yeah, I'm training in Australia right now. Like, do you want to come?" And then I was like, okay, sure. Yeah. So within a week, I booked my tickets, I booked my accommodation, I basically sync up with the coach in Australia. I left the
Amazing.
national team in Singapore. I packed my
Wow.
bags and I just packed my bags and I went to Australia and trained there for 6 months. And
Whoa.
and it's all on my own funds. Like I self-funded there
Wow.
because because I mean, like the country was like, well, this is not part of your training plan. If you want to do something different, then you gotta you understand, right? Like the fundings and stuff.
Yes.
So then I was like, sure, like why not, right? But thinking back, it is the best. Okay, it is the best. I would say right up till now, it's the best 2 years of my life.
Wow.
So I went over um in the late I think towards the end of 2023.
Mm.
And I was there for 6 months. I just traveled around, competing here, joining this club to train, um, and I spent my best time like last year. And
Wow.
at the age of like, yeah, and at the age of 31, I could do a personal best in a 50 meters freestyle in a
Yeah.
sprint event. And then I was like, wow, what have I been doing, for the past like 10
So,
years of my life?
so what was the difference according to you for
Yeah,
style of training or nutrition? What were
yeah.
these key factors for better performance and more success in your performance?
Well, I think firstly, it is just the total change of environment. It is just like a different stimulus. Everything was different, culture was different. And I love Australia. I love the lifestyle. I love the country. I love the weather. I just love it. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit biased. Um, Sorry, can you hear me? Because it's raining really heavily.
Oh, yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, let me just close my windows and on the light.
Yes.
Okay, this is better. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it is just like, I guess when you're older and if you're doing the same thing over and over again for like decades, having like a change is it's really good. So when I went over to Australia, I basically trained
Mm.
lesser.
Less.
So
Okay.
yeah, I trained lesser. So when that is where my training smarter started.
Mm.
um I re- yeah, I realized that I was just grinding too hard in training and I
Mm.
was grinding too hard in the gym. I was so strong. Like if you give me a gym program and I can continue lifting and I get big, I get so strong. So for example, back in 2022, I can do um, like three my weighted pull-ups,
Yeah.
maximum weight that I can pull, it's almost 50 kilos for 3 reps.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Mm.
then, and then when I went to,
Yeah.
and then when I went over to Australia, uh, my physio and the strength and conditioning coach there was like, "You're too strong. Like, why? Like, I mean, it's strong. Like being strong is one thing, but
Yeah.
is your strength converting into the pool?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm just trying too hard in the pool that it's not efficient, basically.
Mm.
So we scaled down on my gym program, and my coach in Australia basically gave me a program that's more specific to my event,
Mm.
and I rested more.
Mm.
Like and
Interesting.
like as we
Mhm.
yeah, and as we get older, like we really, really need the rest.
Yeah.
Because we don't recover, like we don't recover as fast as the young people, right?
Yeah.
And also because of the type of training that I have done in the past, like the 10 swim sessions,
Mm.
that I can be in this training program that I'm doing now. because I like the foundation is set,
Yeah, you said
right?
foundation, yeah. So you more
Yeah,
to quality than quantity.
yeah,
Do
yeah.
you?
So definitely quality right now.
Mm,
Yeah. So then that was when I was in Australia.
mm-hmm,
And after I came back from Australia last year, maybe like it was like middle of 2024. So I
mm-hmm.
came back to Singapore to swim in our Olympic trials.
Yes.
That was when I achieved my personal best. But I missed out on the Olympic cut. So the thing is, I I did a personal best by 0.1 seconds, and
Wow.
I was away from the Olympic cut from 0.1 seconds. Right.
But
So
you are
then
still running
uh
to that, right? You are still, that's still your goal to make it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, 2028 right now is a little bit far for me to think about. Like I'm taking it year by year right now, but if my current training program works, why not? Because I am balancing my job, my sport, social life, family time,
Yeah.
and if I'm still able to swim fast, then why not? I would continue to swim as long as I can, that's for sure, because there's like a whole new um like it's like a whole new other thing behind that, right? Like being an older swimmer, you're like trying to inspire the younger generations. You're
Mm,
trying to show them that, there's not there's more than one way to do things.
mm,
And if you really want to achieve what you want to achieve,
mm,
like it can be done. It's just that, are you afraid to take the step? Like, are you afraid, do you want to be like the one different person to do something different compared to the rest? Like, or do you want to stay in the pack and do the same thing?
mm. What I
That's yeah.
Do you feel like because there are some other Malaysian swimmer who are part of the Olympic team in the same field as you, like 50 meters? Or,
Sorry, again, come again.
are there other athletes, female athletes, who are part of the Malaysian team in your discipline in the sprint?
Malaysian.
No, sorry, Singapore. I'm sorry.
Okay, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, no worries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would say that, wow, the rain is coming down hard. I would say that there's one other teammate that has started out with me,
Yes.
and she is currently still swimming as well. She's a year older than me.
Mm-hmm.
But she is still training with the national team.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm right now, I'm just like doing things on my own. Like, I've hired my own coach in Singapore. I'm
Wow.
basically like doing things my own way, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've actually went even more specific towards the 50 meters starting this year.
Yeah.
Um I'm kind of training alongside I think his name is Cameron McAvoy. I'm not sure if you heard of him, but he won the 50 meters freestyle men's event at Paris 2024. So
Okay.
he was the one. So he was the one that started, to play with this non-traditional sprint training. So
Mm.
we're basically doing weights. Okay, so we're kind of like basically doing weights, gym training in the pool. So we're swimming with weights. We are swimming with resistance.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah. However, we are doing it at race pace all the time.
At speed,
So we are sorry.
at race space, so speed, right?
Yes, yes. So we are doing at race speed all the time.
How
So
many
that is
kilos?
very
How many kilos do you carry?
uh like this morning I was pulling 80 pounds. I mean, it wasn't a lot in the pool,
Yeah.
but also yeah, and also like right now I am actually going into a deload phase for next week. So next week is actually my deload phase, because then after the deload phase I have 3 weeks to we have the World Championships in Singapore
Mm.
that's happening end of July. So right now it's I guess, the start of my taper. Yeah, yeah,
So it
yeah.
sounds
So
very
yeah, yeah. So with that kind of training, like for me, I'm still experimenting it
mm,
because it's I don't know how my body is reacting to it, right?
mm,
I don't know how much time I need to rest because there's a lot of neural fatigue from it. Like my brain and my mind gets very tired from it just because I'm going at 100% all the time.
mm.
However, with that being said, I've scaled down my volume of training basically. So, for example, in a week, I used to do, I would say maybe 50 to 60 kilometers in the pool. But right now, in a week, I maybe do a maximum of, I would say, 2 to 3 kilometers. But the 2 to 3 kilometers, it's all at race speed.
Okay. Oh, that's very
Yeah,
interesting. That's
yeah. So,
interesting.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, so the theory is if we are training at race speed all the time and we can hit our race speed in training, we basically have to just rock up at training and just be my average and I be there.
But okay, you said that the past, your training in the past was still the foundation, because the
Yep,
question I would ask you, uh, how can you maintain a good long distance cardio? Just like in athletics, we also have this season where we do a lot of long distance trainings to
yep,
build up that strong resistance to lactic actic.
yep,
When we get to sprint faster and
yep,
more time. So
yep.
how do you manage then to balance that?
Yeah. So this training program, we basically go in blocks,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's training blocks of it. So right now we are in, I would say, the last block of
Yeah.
like like I'm basically in my speed endurance block right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So every block there is a different emphasis on it. So
Mm-hmm.
like I'm in my speed endurance block right now and I'm going into taper and then it's race block. And then I'm taking a short little break and then we are gonna be back into race speed and speed endurance again because the SEA Games is happening this year again in December and it's going to be my 10th SEA Games. And I'm gonna go there and try to win my gold medal back because I lost my gold medal in
Ah,
2021 and 2022.
yeah.
So it is honestly a full circle moment for me.
Mm.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see what happens there.
But you
But
have a clear
after,
vision that you're focusing on
yeah,
step
yeah,
by step,
yeah,
and
for
you
sure,
are very open
for sure.
to more.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I'm open to more for sure.
What
Yeah,
is the age of what
yeah.
is the age of retirement in your sport?
Well, honestly speaking, that is a question that everyone asks. Um, I would say in Asia,
Mhm.
swimming at my age is counted as old, but that's because of our culture, right? It's because of our culture because we have a working culture and we have a stereotype that everyone has to get married and have a family,
Okay, is it still
right? Yeah,
that in your culture? Do you
yeah,
still feel the strong presence of the tradition? It's
yeah, yeah, for sure.
how the
Yeah,
how,
the
how because for people who don't know, we are in the
yeah,
Western world and we have no idea of
exactly,
what's going on. So
exactly.
how your culture is impacting your.
Well, people would think I'm weird, right? Like they think that I'm doing something different. They would ask me like, "Oh, what am I doing with my life?"
Mm.
Because I'm still doing sports. But I'm like, well, mm, I'm going for my passion. But everyone in Singapore or like in Asia, basically,
Mhm.
there is kind of like a timeline that is kind of set out for them, right? You go to high school, you finish university, you get a degree, and then you get married, you buy a house, and you have kids, and that's it. and you have to excel at everything you do. So you gotta be first in school, you gotta be first in sports, and then you have to buy a house by this age, and yeah. So that is Asia,
And you have to
right?
be a
So
great woman at home who has a beautiful skin and everything.
yeah, yes, exactly. So I'm the one that likes to go in the sun to kind of like suntan and get myself, like vitamin D. But everyone in Asia would want fair skin. They hide from the sun. They'll be like, oh no, sun is bad for you. Yeah. So that is our culture. But so that is what I've been saying about, doing something different and trying to inspire the younger generations because like the world is so big. Like I mean, I don't blame them because they haven't had the time and the expense to travel the world.
Mm,
But me being privileged enough,
yeah,
to have traveled the world, I've seen things, I've seen how world-class athletes train. Basically, like if I ask you right now, I would say like 30 it basically athletes in their 30s, it's their prime age, right?
yeah,
Like,
yes.
yeah, exactly.
Change actually they're in athletics it's like 20 is a very startup phase where athletes can show great results and they can start leading in the world, but because the
Yep,
experience, maybe lack of experience, or then you gain more
yep,
expertise, and then by the age of 30 you are like at your golden age, and then
yeah,
25 20 from 25 to the age of 30, this is where we really experiment being the best.
exactly. Like Florent Manadou, he is
Oh,
what, 30, 31, right? Also, like he's in his 30s.
yeah, he's Beyonce.
So, yeah, so it's like you you gain all these experiences when you're in your 20s, and in your 30s that's where you put everything together because you know how your body works,
Yeah.
you know how the sport works, and your mind is just clearer and more mature to do the things that you want to do,
Hmm.
right? Because like for example, just now when you asked me like how did I do it when I was 16 years old,
Yeah.
I I don't remember like what I was thinking when I was 16. Like I was just probably thinking about, yeah, I want to travel to the other like overseas to just enjoy with my friends.
Yeah.
That's all, right? But I'm not thinking about the goal, like what do I have to do to get there?
Hmm.
Yeah. So that is the difficult part in Asia, whereby like one of the toughest thing is to have to answer this question every day, basically.
Hmm.
When family, relatives, they come to visit, like,
Yeah.
oh, actually, I just got asked this question today. I had a family gathering in the morning,
Yeah.
and one of my cousins asked me, she was like, oh, like, do you do anything else outside of swimming? And I'm like, yeah, I have a full-time job. And then she was like, oh, I didn't know. And then like I told her like how sports in Singapore is, like, there's no funding, you basically have to live on, I have to get my living expenses from elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
And and sponsorships in Asia, actually in Singapore, it's just non-existent
Non-existent.
as well. Like
Wow.
no, yeah. So like sponsors, they don't really support you in cash. Like they would give you lots of products and services, right? That's great. But when I want, what I really need is funding to travel to Australia to train with my coach,
Yeah.
right? And those are like self-funded. So then I have to work. That's why I need a corporate
Can
job.
you share how much, let's say, it costs you to,
Ah,
like,
well, I would,
per year, like, more
yeah,
or less, how much do you spend on your training, including, and everybody who's
yeah.
involved also in your preparation? I see you have an aura ring, right?
Right, yeah, yeah, yeah. I do have an aura ring. I've been wearing the aura ring since for years. Love it. I use it to track my sleep because I'm a huge sports science, sleep science, recovery junkie basically.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
So
how
I
much,
mean,
who are, yeah, how much do you invest on your preparation? And
I would say last year alone, I would say around 50 to 60,000 Singapore dollars. That is, I don't know how. Okay, maybe like 50,000 USD. I would say that
Okay. Yeah.
50, yeah, like 50 to 60,000 um USD maybe last year.
Wow.
This year around around the same thing because I pay my own coach. I have my own private coach that I hire, which he coaches me one on one. So I pay him as well. And
Wow.
I have a strength and mobility coach whom I do remote coaching, and he's based in Portugal. So I pay him as well. And then I have my own like recovery stuff, living expenses, rent, car, yeah, all of
That's
those
a
stuff.
lot. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
it's
So
a
you
lot.
basically take all your money or part of the money that you earn to become to follow your
Yep, yep, yep.
passion.
Yeah,
And
yeah, for sure. It's definitely like a paycheck to paycheck thing. But a lot of yeah, but one of the misconception of people in Asia is that we are very well paid, but we are not. Whenever
oh,
we win, yeah,
okay.
like so actually for swimming, we are not like track and field whereby like you guys have like the Diamond League, like you guys have world tours, right?
Yes, yes.
Like we don't have that. And yeah, so there's no prize money at all. There's
Wow.
literally
So,
zero prize money.
so like there is no prize money. So then the question, because it's always a game, like athletes when they reach certain level, then the money comes, the sponsors they come. So then it's like a
Yep.
race, you know. But if
Yep.
if there is no money, then the question would be like, what are you running for?
Yeah. Just for the passion because I believe that um I can be better and I basically don't want to live with the regret of oh, like last year I could have swam for 6 months more and I could have done this time. I could have tried that. I could have tried this. Yeah, like I don't want to live with regrets. And one of the biggest regrets that I already have in my life is not being able to go to the US for college. And I just don't want any more regrets in life, basically.
Yes.
And honestly,
Mm.
if if I swam a best time last year, honestly, it's also because I swam a best time last year. It just proves to me that I can be faster because I know where my weaknesses are and I know like what I need to do to get there. But
Mm.
if I know that I've done everything I can and like
Yes.
I'm done and my body's broken,
Yeah.
then sure. Yeah, but like inside me, like what my mind is telling me, what my gut is telling me that
Mm.
is all like right there. I just have to piece everything together on race day and like all the stars have to align and it will happen.
So I love that you say peace together because like the
Yeah.
mindset is very important, and I'm so curious
Yep.
to know what kind of wisdom do you use as a Asian athlete, and there is also a misconception of people in the Western world, like they think all Asia think the same, all Asia have the same way of thinking, philosophy or whatever. How do you take the wisdom, or where do you take it from? Being Asian, being from Singapore.
Honestly, a lot of my friends says that I'm not Asian. Like like I have the like the Western mindset and the way I think. Like even like my food preferences,
Hmm?
I love the West like I prefer the Western foods compared to the Asian foods, basically. But
Okay.
I mean, I still like the Asian food. But for example, when I was training in Australia for 6 months
Yeah.
with my friend from Hong Kong, she would be craving Asian food every day. But I'd be like, "Oh, no, I don't. I'm okay to eat avocado on toast every day."
Hmm.
Yeah,
The
right.
difference.
But
What is the difference, basically, if you could say Western food, Asian food? What's the difference
ah,
as an athlete? Because me, as a French athlete, but I am originally from Africa, and I grew up in France since the age of 3. But then I
Yeah.
had some inflammations and injuries due to epigenetics. So I didn't really understand how to transfer my epigenetics to nutrition. And so after
Mm,
trials and errors and many problems like injuries,
mm, yeah.
Achilles break, I
Yeah.
became so like a scientist, in
Yeah.
personalized health care, and then I worked with biologists, I worked with people who are specialized in nutrigenomics, so epigenetics and nutrition, to really understand at the core what does my body really needs. Even if I love the
Yes.
pastas, I love the hamburgers and stuff like that, but my body just creates inflammation from that. So
Yes.
I really
Yes.
make a conscious decision. I can't eat.
Yes.
So how about you?
Oh, I'm like I'm like a basically like a science, like a health freak as well. Uh, so I did a degree in sports science.
Ah,
I mean like funny story is I actually wanted to become a doctor when I was young. So I love, watching like medical documentaries, medical dramas. So since since young, I'm I've always have an interest in health.
mhm.
So I do want to go into healthcare in the future.
Okay.
I actually have one foot in at the moment. Um,
How?
so I'm like you. I'm like you. I have a very inflamed body as well. I did blood tests,
Mm,
and it shows that my markers are just sky high.
yeah.
And so I'm just like trying out different foods. So I actually stay away from red meat because, those are like very like inflammation food, right? So I take a lot of fish, I take a lot of chicken instead of red meat. Um, I'm actually getting a referral letter next week to see a specialist to find out actually why my inflammation levels are so high,
Mm,
because that is going to affect my recovery, right? And as an older athlete, like I need to recover, like I cannot have high inflammation in my body.
yes,
So
yes.
I'm like you, yeah, yeah. And recently I've been studying hyperbaric chambers therapy. I've been doing red light therapy sessions. I'm gonna get a gut microbiome test done.
Mm,
And yeah, I like all this like fancy stuff. I just see it as it doesn't just help me create like longevity in my sporting career, but it
if you don't mind, if we just take a few minutes to finish this conversation, and there's
yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I love chatting about all this kind of stuff because
yeah.
um I think like everyone, especially in Asia culture where everyone is so busy with life.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, right? Like in Asia, like everyone is so busy. Like everyone is just rushing from places to places, and like in Singapore, we are so small. We basically have like high rises everywhere. Like okay, let me just show you my house. So this is the outside of my house.
Yeah.
This is my parents' house. So like I'm facing another flat.
Yeah.
So mostly Singaporeans live like that. And it just feels very like
Compact facts.
yeah, yeah.
Where is the
But
nature? Where's the nature? Because you're in the
we
middle of
don't
the
have
jungle, right?
we don't have nature. That's the thing.
So you
That's why I love going to Australia because everything just feels open. It feels free. The air feels fresher. So like every time when I need to have a breather, I will go there.
But why did
Yeah.
let's? It's another story. I know you don't know everything about it, but why? Because it's a tropical place. Where's the nature? Why the nature? Why did the people remove the nature and put so much buildings everywhere?
Yeah, to build buildings. We are su- we are basically surrounded by water. We are a small little island.
Yeah.
So we need space for the people to live in, basically. So they're always like trying to reclaim land to build more buildings for people to stay in, skyscrapers. I mean Singapore as a whole,
Yeah.
economics wise, we are a good country that earns good
Yeah.
money.
Very big
Right. Yeah,
country.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are rich. We are a rich country, but
Yeah.
the money comes from building all these things, where businesses comes in. Everyone treats us as like a middle hub, like a port
Yeah.
to other places across the world. Yeah, so I think like people like in Asia and also especially in Singapore, they don't understand the importance of rest and recovery and
Wow.
sleep,
Wow.
right? So so for example, in Australia, I love Australia because all the shops they close at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
right? But yeah, they open early and then they like the whole city just goes to sleep at like 5 o'clock, which is great because then people are kind of like forced to
Mm.
rest.
Mhm.
But in Singapore, like the life starts after 6 p.m., right? Like our shops and everything closes at 10, 11. Um,
Mm.
yeah, and yeah, but that's just how it is. But that's fine. Like every culture, they have their own traditions, they have their own way of living. So
Little
I
things,
guess like
little things. Yeah.
yeah, so like I guess like I feel like I want to spread the word of like, yes, you can have this busy life, but you need to take care of your health as well. So that's why I kind of partnered with this other brand in Singapore. It's called Alpha Vitality. So they actually they focus on preventive healthcare
Mhm.
and longevity,
Mhm.
basically. So like using all these equipments to help the busy people, to kind of like accelerate their recovery,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
What
so
kind of
yeah. So then
what kind of equipment do they use, and what do you do? You are like advocating, or what?
yeah, yeah. So I recently just became a brand ambassador for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm actually starting on this protocol with them, whereby like it's 60 sessions of a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Um, so yeah, yeah. So like actually, I mean, like research actually shows that if you finish 60 sessions, you will that like it will prolong your lifespan, right? But I am using it as like a recovery tool for my training. Like so, like I mean, I'm sure you have you used the hyperbaric chamber before?
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes,
sure.
yes. I,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did, I did,
yeah.
and also used sea Dead Sea a Dead Sea recovery chamber.
Magnesium,
Yeah.
the magnesium. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like all these things, I'm super interested in, which is part of one of my other side passion projects actually. Like I want to build a platform basically
Sports
to kind of like yeah, like to kind of like advocate for high performance, but also like honoring like
recovery.
health
Yeah.
and like health, like personal well-being
Yes.
and recovery. Like you can have your high performance life,
Yeah.
but you also need to take care of
Of
your health basically,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah,
That's
exactly.
so amazing. Thank you so much. I really love this conversation. It's so insightful. I just wanted to get back to the Aura Ring, and you said that
Yeah,
you
yeah, sure.
not because you're tracking your sleep. But
Yep.
so this clinic that you're part of, or this organization, is also a little bit the other tools that you are using, or resources that you use to like to use science and new technologies to
Yep.
get more on track of your health, right? Do you have
Yep.
a specific protocol? How do you implement all of this in your life?
Um, so because I just started with them and I'm still experimenting on what works for me.
Mm.
So but I definitely know what does not work for me because I actually did too much recovery before one of my races in June.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt super good right up to my races.
Mm-hmm.
And like the day before my races, I went to do all my recovery and stuff. Uh and on the race day itself, I felt super tired.
Oh,
And we couldn't find out why.
too short,
Um
too short time.
so it might be because of that.
Mm.
Um and also because I'm in this new training program, right? Like my body works differently from last time. So that was why I was saying that I'm still kind of experimenting on what works for me.
Mm.
So like right now, for example, um, but I know that so okay, so like my routine or like my protocol right now is when I'm in training, so like for the past 4 weeks, I would get in twice. I would do the protocol twice. So I'll get in the hyperbaric chamber and I will do the red light therapy
Yeah.
twice a week. So I would do once on maybe Monday and one on maybe Friday.
Yes, I need
But
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But because next week I'm going into my deload week, I would I'm planning on just doing it once at the start of the week, and then done, and then just let my body do its own recovery. Like I will still do the so what I have next week is kind of like an unstructured training. So I'm still training, but I'm not going into like my training location, but just to change, just to have a little change in my environment, right? Do things on my own,
Yeah.
do what I feel I need. I'll still go to the gym, but I'm starting a new training program whereby like it's a tapering deload program.
Mm.
And then when I'm back in training the following week, depending on how I feel, I might go in, I might just continue the once a week and then maybe right up to my races 1 or 2 weeks before, I would totally stop
Yeah.
the like the chambers and the red light therapy and just let my body do its own stuff.
Yes, yes. So to give more, it's
Yeah.
good to use these new tools, this technology, but we need to understand how to
Yeah.
decrease and
Yes.
increase the
Yes.
of it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So also like part of me also because of how I was brought up, the Asian culture and how I was being trained since young, I
Mm,
always feel like I have to do more. Like the
mm,
more the better, right? I
mm.
have to grind more. But right now at this age and this new training program, the hardest thing for me is the shift in mindset whereby like I need to take a step back and rest
Yeah,
because everything I have is already in my body. It's just that I'm just trying too hard.
yeah,
Like I need to stop trying too hard. So for example, this morning, at training, right? Uh, the first set that I did, I didn't try at all. Times were good. My stroke rate per minute was good.
yeah.
It was low. But towards the end, because I was tired, right? But I still wanted to go faster. I wanted to do more. My
Mm,
times were the same. My stroke rate went out of the window
yeah,
and I was taking more strokes. So like that is not efficient, right? So like having this visual and knowing that it doesn't work for me is something that I'm still learning. But now I know and I'm aware of it. But being aware of it in training is one thing, right? Because when it comes to competition,
yeah. It's
the pressure that you yeah,
yeah,
yeah, right? The pressure that comes to you when standing when you have competitors next to you, you just want to like go hard and go fast. But I can't. Like I have to basically race at 98% and not at 100% because 100% for me is slower than 98%. So like how do I keep myself in the 98% zone? Like that is something that is the hardest for
mm,
me in the past 2 years. Yeah. That's the biggest change actually.
yeah. So that's very interesting because there is also certainly a specific mental training that you're gonna
Yeah,
get access
it
to.
is. It
Um,
is, it is. Yeah. And it's also like how your coach kind of instill that value in you. Like how is he reminding you every day?
mm,
Or like do you have another coach that's just asking you to bust your okay, never mind. Just asking you to grind every day and like, you're so tired from training and then like it's a coach and athlete relationship thing, right? Like the coach needs to know how to push you
yeah,
and you need to know how to take in the knowledge and honestly, that will not happen when you're young.
that.
Only when you're older,
Mm,
then you can understand like why he's saying that. And only when you understand why you need to do it, that's when you see the results.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Like, yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. I just want to ask you one more question because you
So,
work at Ernest and Young, and it's one of the big five. I think it's one of the big companies.
Yeah,
That's good reputation. I think a
yeah,
high performing company.
yeah, yeah.
Do you transfer the skills that you have
Oh, yeah, for sure,
worked in
for
your
sure.
company? Because it's a quite stressful environment to be in such a high level company. So what kind of skills do you transfer? Do you use from sports to working as a high level executives at Ernst & Young?
Yeah. Um, so for example, before I went on leave this month to prepare for my race at the World Championships, I was part of a 6 weeks project
Mm,
where we have to basically this company they wanted to outsource their jobs basically.
mhm,
Um yeah, and what I was tasked to do was to do like an analysis on the different type of jobs scopes that's being carried out,
okay.
right? Analyze it and then we determine from the amount of effort
Mm,
whether it's able to be done by an outsourcing company or it needs to stay in-house.
mhm,
And because it's a very short project, it's a 6 weeks project. So, I mean, just for context wise, um, usually for such a project, um, it would take 6 weeks to do one function. So, one function meaning like, you know, how in a company there's different business units, right? There's human resource, there's legal, there's IT,
mhm,
there's finance. So usually it takes 6 weeks to do one of the function,
mm.
but I had 6 weeks to do four functions.
Okay.
So it was very hectic. I was working till 11 p.m. every night.
Oh,
Um, and I was also so I basically have to get my training in the morning before I go to work.
mm. And
Uh,
what's the
and
training
my
like giving you good energy at the end of the day, or do like
yeah, like I mean, honestly, I think I was just so high on adrenaline for that 6 weeks that I actually swam well at training. But But then again, I felt it after 6 weeks when everything died down, when all the adrenaline like passed. I
yeah.
was just so tired from it. Um, it was a very highly stressful period because I couldn't sleep, even though I was very tired. Like whenever I lie in bed, like my mind is just still racing about the things I have to do tomorrow. So
Yeah.
like the difference between like a corporate job on such projects and compared to training is that when you're in trainings, right, you do the training sets and
Mm,
it's done. You do the training sets and it's done. If you do badly, okay, it's done. You come back tomorrow, you do the same thing. It doesn't really affect anybody else but yourself, right? But in a project like this, like I know that there is still a lot of things I have to do. Like I cannot finish doing everything. So like what what I feel like I want to do is I want to get everything done in a day
mm.
so that I have more time to do things tomorrow. But the thing is, there's just so many things to do whereby like the things just will
Oh,
not finish,
yeah.
right? So then like I have to learn how to compartmentalize.
Compartment.
Like I just yeah. So like I just need to so like what I did was I have a checklist for myself every day. I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna do this, 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 and this.
Mm.
When I'm done with this, I'm done. I'm not gonna touch what I'm gonna do tomorrow. That's
Oh,
yeah, that's for tomorrow.
yeah.
um like even though I really still want to try and complete it, but I just tell myself I'm like, okay, I'm done for today, right? And it's really like the perseverance that I've learned from the sport to like really grind, like the grinding that I've done in the past when I was younger, that has been transferred to my projects because you really need a very good work ethic to be on consulting projects because there's just so many things to do. And like there are many moments where I just finished work and I just came home and I just feel like I just feel like I want to cry because firstly, I was new to the I was new to this kind of projects.
Yeah.
So like I didn't really know what I had to do, even though I know what the end goal was. So like my project manager would tell me like, okay, I need to have this and this, right? But in the middle, I'm like, but like how do I get there? So
They
and
don't
also
tell you.
because of my they do. But I think that's also because of uh like my own, how do I say that, expectations.
Yeah.
Because my rank in the company
Mm-hmm.
is 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 pretty high in a sense whereby like I'm a senior consultant, and
Oh,
there's three levels of senior consultants in a company, right? So then there's senior consultant one, two, and three, and I'm basically two.
wow.
So I feel like I am expected to know all these things, and
So high
maybe
level.
and
Yeah.
yeah, like I'm expected to know like the high level stuff, what needs to be done, what kind of
Mm.
work needs to be delivered. Um, and I think that just kind of got to me a little bit. So then, yeah, so then it's really just taking a step back, from what I learned from my sport. After you have a bad race, take a step back,
The back end.
learn where yeah, like learn where went wrong,
Mm.
what I have to do, make sure to ask questions early so I don't do extra work. Ask help from your managers or your friends if you don't know. Like just don't be quiet, right? Just clarify before like doing it. But I would also say that because of my sport, I was able to communicate with the clients very well.
Yes.
I wasn't afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
I had very good social skills basically from the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a plus point for like a senior consultant, because
Mm.
especially with an athlete background, because many of them, they came from the school system and then they went straight into the company and work, so they don't really interact with people outside of
Yes. Yes.
basically school and the jobs, right? And it's hard for them to talk to people.
Mm.
And usually it's when you're talking to your client where you learn the most on
Yes.
how to do the job properly, because then you understand what they want and you can deliver what they want. Yeah, so that was pretty cool, I guess.
Communication skills. Yeah. That's very
Yeah,
interesting. There's a question I often ask, and of course you feel free to answer it. If you don't, there's no problem. Um,
sure.
Being a women athlete is something that is
Yeah,
still challenging still today. Um, and to get to the top, you make some sacrifice or not. You decide to become a mother or not. Many times it's correlated to the career. Also, you think, no, I'm going to do it later on, and then we'll see. Um,
yeah.
what is your experience on that?
Um, I think I am pretty privileged to have not felt any, I guess, discrimination in terms of like being a woman in sports. But I think that's also how I think that's also because I kind of know how to steer the conversation away from it, which I feel like it is a little bit unfair because I have to do it because I can sense that it's coming.
Oh,
And I think I just learned how to, yeah, just how to change the topic a little bit, right?
yeah.
And um
You have an
but I also
example.
I don't, because like it's really not a moment. Uh
Yeah.
Let me think. Yeah,
But
but I think in I guess for my team at least, they aren't that there isn't really such an issue going around. Like we are quite how do I describe that? We see each other in an equal light, basically. Um, but I do feel like, okay, for example, sometimes in the gym, but I feel like I'm also quite lucky in a sense whereby like I'm a pretty strong girl, so I lift heavier than the boys. So like sometimes I would say like, hey, come on, if I can do this, you can do it. right? So then it's just like just don't be lazy and just get it done.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but mm, yeah.
Did
So
you
I think
did you ever have in your head like I want to become a mother or have a family? Not because
yes.
everything is
Yeah,
possible. I live in the Netherlands, and in this
yeah,
almost free country on
yeah,
the earth, you can become a mom alone with a woman or with a man. It doesn't matter. You can not become
yeah,
a mom and you can be whatever you want.
yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah. I mean,
in this
for
age,
that, yeah,
background,
I mean,
environments, what was the place for your womanhood, motherhood, or something like that?
yeah, I think for me, I I would love to have kids. I want to have kids, right? But I feel like because of the sport that I'm in, swimming, and I don't know whether it's an Asian thing. It might be an Asian thing whereby like I have basically all my past relationships that I have had with my partners, they basically fell apart because of my sport.
Yeah.
Well, like the only question they would I I basically feel like they are waiting for me to retire because then I can give them more time, this and that. Uh, and I kind of feel like they are making me choose between my sport and the relationship itself.
Yeah.
Uh, but then again, right? I've seen the world. I've traveled to Australia. I've seen Europeans, like Sarah Rostrom, like everyone. They are like just they are able to have a stable relationship. They are able to have a marriage. They are able to have kids and still stay in the sport, right? I think if the right person that has that kind of mindset comes along for me, I would be all for it. But right now in the Asian culture, I feel like they are not there yet.
Mm.
That's why I'm still single. Feel like it's a public service announcement to everyone, but that's basically the reason why I'm still single. And I mean, like my parents, they do ask me. They're like,
This
I
generation,
think,
what are you gonna
yeah,
give
I think,
this next generation?
yeah,
You see.
I think they kind of kept asking me till they stopped asking me now.
Mm.
Yeah, because like, I mean, it's not like I don't want to have like a partner and have kids. I do, but I just don't see. I just can't find the person that has the same values as me.
Why would you stop
Yeah,
being an athlete to become to be have a
yeah,
family, a man?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So like my next partner, um, if he or she basically wants a kid, I'm all for it. But the option of me still being able to stay in the sport has to be there, right? It cannot be an either or.
Yeah.
That's up to me to decide, right? Not for them. It's for us to decide as like a couple.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
it's a great story, everything you said, and a lot of wisdom. And I thank you so much because I really learned so much, and I hope I can keep following you and see your progress in the swimming or in your career because it looks like you're
yeah,
performing two two lane like
yeah,
the
yeah. In parallel,
yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. Like I want to have a life outside of sport, but I also want to have a sport in life. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it was great speaking with you too. Are you on Instagram? We can connect there as well.
Yes, I'm in Instagram. I'm not great at
Okay.
Instagram because I'm still trying to figure out how to speak
Okay.
on social media. So don't
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for having me and like taking the time and inviting me to this. I think it was great. Yeah, I love speaking about such stuff.